Oh no, America is invading! Welcome back, my awesome people. In today's video, I'll be highlighting the influence that the United States has on Canada. The reason I am bringing this up today is because as America is currently going through a major change and transition with their politics and economics, obviously because of Trump, many Canadians feel that America's business is their business. But it's not. And they say it has no effect or influence on Canada. But it does, especially on Canadian finances, culture, media, politics, taxes, and many, many more. America being the current superpower, yes, I said current superpower. It may not be the superpower for too much longer. It will always have a major influence on its neighboring countries, including Canada and Mexico. And to be frank, its influence even reaches down to South America and the Caribbean islands. So I will be primarily highlighting how American culture, decisions, and policies influences Canada and what will be the next few years looking like under a Trump administration. Now, Canada and the United States have a unique relationship. Two sovereign states, each reliant on the other for trade, continental security, and prosperity. And they occupy the bulk of North America as they share the world's longest undefended border. Despite having radically different beginnings, as well as a history of war and conflict, the two countries stand as a modern example of interdependence and cooperation. They continue to use frequently the same language, they watch the same movies, listen to the same music, and collaborate on other numerous levels, including economic and political activity. Very few countries that share borders share as much in common as Canada and the United States, especially culturally. In the last 40 years, the inclusion of the Canadian market by American industries is extremely strong. The United States is still the main source of products. American products represent 81% of all commodity imports to Canada. And these products can be goods and services. Canadians watch American TV shows, listen to American music, love American sports teams, drive American cars, and buy American goods at American stores like Walmart and Target. Canadians have a unique cultural tradition of they're their own and they have much to be proud of. Since the invention of broadcasting, Canada has pretty much been flooded with American radio, television, and movies. Canadians are fully versed in American culture, and the opposite is clearly not true, as most Americans know little or nothing about Canada, as many of them still think we live in igloos. Despite all of this, Canadians are pretty distinct from Americans. Former Canadian Prime Minister Kim Campbell, yes, Canada did have a female prime minister. It was the first and only female who has held this position back in 1993. And she stated that images of America are so pervasive in this global village that it is almost as if instead of the world immigrating to America, America has emigrated to the world, allowing people to aspire to be Americans, even in far and distant countries. Countries that command cultural influence are often synonymous with fine food, fashion, and easy living. They are trendsetters. Their products have that certain je ne sais quoi that makes them fly a little faster off the shelves. Their music, television, and movies are absorbed by other cultures, becoming part of a wider global conversation. As such, America's position as the world's dominant superpower has led a global American cultural influence. And after World War II, the rise of the consumer economy and an American lifestyle gave American popular culture a global impact. So Jacob Rant, what does the future hold for the future of Canada and Canadians under this new American power? Well, my awesome people, COVID has certainly wreaked havoc on Canada's economy, from retail, individual buying power, job loss, lockdowns, and accessibility. Various industries have been hit hard, and some will try to recover, but many will not. For example, the housing market. Physical distancing requirements at the beginning of March 2020 shut down the real estate industry because realtors couldn't hold open houses, and Canada's National Housing Agency is expecting prices could drop by almost 20% before rebounding starting in 2027. Public transit use has plummeted and has yet to recover as the economy has started to reopen. Cities like Vancouver and Toronto's cash-strapped transit system have missed out on almost $100 million worth of fares. The transit issue has trickled into a positive for bike sales. as bike sales are booming and bike lanes are experiencing a comeback. But then again, as oil recovers and the carbon tax on gas for Canadian consumers has finally been eliminated, driving could see higher demands as consumers opt for the safety and security of their own self-contained travel bubbles, their car. And this makes perfect sense, as no one wants to be in a crowded space anymore. Although widespread, store closures hit just about every chain. Online shopping, on the other hand, is proving to be a big success, as online sales has now more than doubled and now make up almost 20% of everything sold in Canada. And of course, most of these online sales are coming from the United States. As a result, Canadian retailers and suppliers have been forced to build out online shopping capabilities at an accelerated rate. On the flip side, Americans and Canadians will also have to soon deal with paying higher on almost everything because of the tariffs this year. Not only will Americans and Canadians be faced with higher prices, but they also elected a leader who openly spoke about raising taxes and closing businesses. And yes, the taxes that will be raised are for the upper class who make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, even millions of dollars a year. However, if these wealthy individuals now have to pay more taxes instead of using that money to hire more employees, expand their business, and more, then it will result in lower economic growth, and this will have a major effect on Canadians. Canada will not be the 51st American state. Maybe not this time around, but with Canada's economy in shambles and Canadian leaders are unable to lead and are all over the place with policies, there could come a time where Canada becomes America's new colony. Maybe not in 10 years, 20 years, or 50 years, but for those who understand the one world order and understand globalization, it is not a far-fetched idea. North America will be under one big umbrella, just like the European Union. And although Canada has a distinct culture, American culture still dominates Canadian culture, from movies, TV, social media, sports, fashion, and more. American economics and taxes also greatly influences Canadian economics and taxes, since Canada relies heavily on American trade. So overall, Canada is currently Canada, the friendly next door neighbor to the United States. But one day, it won't be a neighbor, it will be a part of the United States. Now, I want to hear from you. Will Canada be the 51st state? Drop a comment below and let's discuss. And don't forget to like and subscribe if this video gave you some value and insightful content. And remember, my awesome people, just like all the information I mentioned in my videos, assess your risk appetite, always diversify, and please do your own due diligence, because I am just a clown on YouTube. Stay ranting.